we talking? Can people hear us?
Talk.
We're here, Sean. It's a President's Day extravaganza.
I should have brought it over here.
Why didn't you bring an amp over here? God, what a fail.
I could still do that. We don't have any comments.
What a fail.
We might have a moment.
Might have a moment.
You play for the people. I'm going to grab that little Viper champ and we'll be in the zone. Ooh, I'm going to grab it.
What am I going to play now?
You can hear me on my journey.
Good morning.
We won't turn her up loud, boys. We got to demo some cool guitars anyways.
We got folks.
Oh, we won't go too loud.
We're professionals.
We're keepers.
Happy President's Day. Everyone's coming. Everyone's getting on. I want to know if you guys are like, are you off for President's Day? Or are you just, at work watching live?
I mean,
that's what I'd be doing. I mean, if I wasn't at work making live stream, I'd be at work watching live streams.
I mean, straight up. Here, we got to do a little bit of that, huh?
A little bit of that action.
From
all sorts of people. Needs a djembe, it's true.
Way too.
What is happening? It's drunken 12-bar loose. Take it, Sean. Sean's really, like, my guitar is right by my little lapel mic, and yours is.
I'd pump that up just a bit more.
So I don't know. Anyways, we're just screwing around.
We're just messing around. Nothing
Sean,
serious
tell us,
here.
what is this guitar you're holding? It's priceless. It's not for sale. Don't worry.
Priceless, baby. This is a custom shop. No, I'm kidding. This is my first guitar that's been mutilated, scrutinized. The whole nine's been done to it. But nonetheless, I always find myself coming back to this guitar.
Doesn't it have a delay pedal in it?
It did.
You took it out?
It burned up after about 2 years, right? Now, I still got the kill switch, which is cool, so I can do like...
Beautiful. It sounds... a cajon.
A Cajun.
That pink telly behind us is pretty tough. We had a really sweet Strat that matched it, but it went to a home.
It did.
Or it's getting ready to go to a home, actually.
They did very similar roller patterns.
They did. And it was a really good guitar. Both of those were really good guitars. So anyways, what are you going to do? It's Family Day in Ontario. Why don't we have Family Day?
Well, we got President's Day.
God, that's dumb.
They're more important than our...
Every day is President's Day. They get to fly around on their plane. They got a house. They got a vacation house.
That's what they want you to think. They're struggling, Johnny. They're struggling.
I thought that makes me feel better about sending them my tax money. I feel great now.
Sometimes
I feel better
they even
about that.
decline to accept that because they just
Weird.
do it for the goodness of their heart.
You know, it happens.
Oh wait.
It happens. West Virginia. Thanks for watching, John. That's kind of awesome. Oh man, your wife is shopping. You didn't have to go. That's the best. That's the best thing.
That is kind of the best. Being home alone, a little home alone action. It's not bad. Not bad.
So you were telling me, Todd Roy. You were telling me, so we got some things brewing. We won't divulge too much of what's brewing, but Sean has been he's been working some top secret projects, and
that's right.
There was some like live sort of recording jamming going on, and you said you played this guitar more than your custom shop.
I did. I actually held the custom shop time to finish writing a song that I was working on, and yeah, it was fine. It plays still a great guitar, but this thing, the whole weekend, I could not. Yeah, I put it down to hold 2 other guitars.
What pickups are in it?
I don't know. I don't remember. So, well, and let me break it down like this too. These are not the original pickups by any means. This is not the original pick guard or harness or anything. So I had the original stuff got tossed out at some point.
Yep.
I got something that somebody told me was from a 50 Strat. I promise you it was not from a 50 Strat.
I remember you messing around with this. I remember you doing this.
Well, then those pickups I ended up throwing out. New set in, like weird stuff I tried to do, nothing ever sounded really that good. And then we had a pick guard that had some preloaded stuff in it that guy he had in random guitars, and he's like, I don't want any of it, keep it, you can sell these guitars though. And I took them and I repieced them back together and we sold those guitars, right? Well, this was one of the pickup sets and electronics out of it. It was like a hand-wired setup. I don't know where they came from. I don't know who did it. I don't know what it is, but it actually has kind of a pretty cool sound to it. Now, something else that I noticed too, and this was the other night, how close this neck up is because of how deep the neck sits. This pickguard didn't fit, so I had to carve out around here. So the neck pickup actually sits closer to the fretboard. I think that adds to like some of the weirder tones. Something's odd here in like the first 3 positions in a good way. That sounds really cool.
Your little top hat switch on
You like that? Dude, this is a vintage top hat switch. This is like an NOS top hat switch.
NOS.
I found it in a bin.
It's going to fall off soon.
I found it in a bin. It's dope. Look at that.
But listen, I think Todd asked what that junk is. That's Velcro on there.
Yeah, so I had a delay pedal in here at one point, right? That's the routed out hole underneath there. This is like built-in shielding too, which is pretty dope. So I have that on there, right? That pedal burned up eventually, so I just took it out and tossed it. And recently, whenever I picked this thing back up and restrung it and set it up, I was like, well, let me put a better pick guard on there because the other one was broken.
Right.
It was like split in half.
Yep, I remember that.
And it's like, well, I got a slicer pedal, and I was like, it'd be cool to control the ramp and some of the other functions on it. And I was like, I like a delay pedal too on the guitar so I can mess with the time and mix and stuff. So I was like, I'm just gonna throw Velcro on there this time and let it rip. And honestly,
Smart.
I feel like it makes little Sharpie drawing stuff around the holes and stuff look, I don't know.
I thought you had, when I saw it, I was like, oh, it's MIDI or something weird. But I think, and you tell me what you think. Hello, Jack.
Yes.
I think sometimes you just get in the mood for a guitar, right? Like I've had kind of not awesome, like I had much better guitars laying around, and you just for whatever reason you pick up a guitar and that's the one that is inspiring.
Yeah.
And I don't think it matters if it's a cheap one or maybe something doesn't play right or maybe.
Well, I mean, what's cool is this is like a $129 guitar that I modified and stuff. So, to me, like I sanded down the neck and stuff, but it feels better to me because of that and everything. But that's just me.
Yeah. No, that's it. But it's pretty. I mean, it's just cool. It's just cool that you have that one. Play some honky. John Rogers wants to hear some honky tonks, some old honky tonk. I too enjoy the old honky tonk.
The old honky tonk.
This guitar is not nearly as exciting, but it is exciting. This is a triple aught 28 that I may or may not have stolen for the weekend to play an acoustic gig.
Listen, if we're basing on what people have stolen for the weekend, I'm going to jail.
I've been fascinated by this guitar since I got here because it's Martin. It had a KK in it already.
So I think you shared an interesting fact earlier. I don't think it's a negative thing. I think it's just a thing in general. You want to share the fact on the live stream?
Was this my Taylor fact?
Yes.
So, I've always played more electric guitar than acoustic live, probably. But I've played plenty of, acoustic shows or whatever. But I've realized I never owned or played live really a guitar that was not a Taylor. Like an acoustic guitar.
Yes.
And it's just because they're easy. It's just ease of use, right? It's just like you grab them, you buy them, they're ready to plug in. The expression system is kind of made to just. Well, the first guitar I had wasn't even the expression system. It was still the Fishman preamps.
Yeah.
And I remember Taylors were like, you never saw them, and it was wild. And I found one at a pawn shop, and I was like, oh my God.
Now, would you consider the majority of Taylors that you bought as like your workhorse acoustic? Like you know that it's going to be the thing that you're going to just play and play and play anytime you got an acoustic gig?
Well, usually for me, right, like I'd always have this list of electrics that I wanted, or maybe, at this point kind of have. And then I'd buy a acoustic just to do whatever came along. So yeah, I always bought a Taylor just because it kind of did everything. In fact, this last time that I bought an acoustic, I had gone through years really having a decent acoustic, and I bought the Taylor that I have now because I didn't even buy it from here. I bought it from a store in Virginia that was like liquidating everything, and it was like dirt cheap. I bought it because like, man, it's ready to go. It's got a pickup system.
Thank you.
The price was right, but I mean, and I don't really want to get rid of that guitar. They're great guitars, but I have had acoustic lust lately for something. I would like to have a nice Gibson. I'd like to have a nice Martin. This might be the Martin. I can work out some.
There's something, to me, there's something intrinsically cool about, like Taylor's cool. I don't want to sound like I think they're not cool, but about like Martins and Gibson's songwriter guitars. And, the Taylor, I feel like, is, like I said, a very good workhorse for live stuff. Because it's going to work and it sounds really good.
And you're just not that worried about it, you know what I mean? Well, this one, so different than playing the Taylor in a weird sort of way. I just, we're sitting in the shop doing this live stream.
So, President's Day extravaganza with customers in tow, baby.
But it's all good. But anyways, it is kind of weird to me how different playing this was than playing my Taylors.
Yeah.
And I a lot of times play solo gigs and don't even use Taylor. I end up using my Gretsch. Or, if I'm playing with somebody, a lot of times I'm electric anyways.
Yeah.
Just because it's fun. But this, I don't know, it's just a different beast. It's just got a K&K Mini in it too. So if I end up buying it, I need to get a preamp of some sort.
What's cool too is those K&Ks simply, they just work,
It just works, but I don't know. It's just a good sound. My Taylor, I have this thing a lot of times where my high E string, I don't feel like playing is loud enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was better. It was more balanced. So like when I would do something and play the lead stuff. I mean, I'm not plugged in now. You're just hearing it from my little lapel mic. But I don't know.
Cool.
I feel like it was better. So yeah, I might be hooked. I should. The smart thing for me would not to buy a guitar now, but that's never stopped me.
We
before.
both know how this goes. We live in the same realm of, do we need it?
Well, sometimes when you're
not.
here, right, it's just when cool things show up that like kind of makes sense. You just kind of jump on them. Because like I said, this is a 2016, and I kind of think the newer designs, in general, are better guitars for the Martins.
Yes.
This one just seems to be pretty particularly good, and maybe it's just that it's a little older. I don't know. Yeah. But it just sounds
with the
really
age too, right? That's going to be coming up on 8 years, probably, roughly.
Seems like 2016 should be much.
Yeah,
more
I know,
recent
right?
than that. But
Well, we got like a whole 4-year gap of COVID weirdness that happened.
Because Abby was born in 2016. Yeah, and she'll be 8 next month. So my daughter.
Wild, dude.
Which is wild. My children shouldn't be that old.
Sounds like it's her birth year guitar.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That's right. That's what we do here at Guitars. We give you an excuse.
Just ways to enable to justify.
All right.
No.
You want to read some comments here? Let's see. We have.
Okay. When is the true golden era for Martin? I mean,
1938.
Everyone likes the 37, 38, like pre-war. I will say this, and this is at the risk of sounding like shill for Martin. I think the stuff they've been building since 2018 is probably as good as anything they've ever built. Now, you can't compare a guitar that's new in 2018 to a guitar that's aged as much as a 1937, right? But I mean, those friggin' the 37 authentic, like, you know, whether they're the aged ones or not, are some of the best acoustics I've ever played. But I mean, just any Martin we get in right now, any D28, man, any D18, any triple aught, double aught, it doesn't matter. They're just really, really good. Ever since they did the Reimagine thing with everything sport shifted bracing, they're just really, really good. But I mean, obviously, the golden era. And I mean, I don't know. People talk junk about Martins from certain years. Every horrible period, I have played horrible guitar in that period, but I've also played one or two that are amazing. Like occasionally we get surprised by like a 70s Martin or like an early 90s Martin. Yeah. Like, wow.
I've played Martins from every decade that
were good guitars.
Are good. And the truth, the same can be said for a lot of other brands too. But I'll say with Martin, I think honestly a golden era is happening right now. We'll go number 2 if you want to, but I think, I don't know, every guitar that I play from Martin that's out of the factory right now, the last 4 or 5 years, incredible. I think before that, this guitar you can tell that's a great guitar. It's pretty interesting.
We've also, same thing with Fender, right? Like a lot of people were talking about, we've talked about Fenders in a sort of a weird golden age. Hopefully they stay there.
Yeah.
there's some questionable things, but in general, man, the Fender stuff right now, and not just custom. I mean, the custom shop is amazing, but just the production stuff is pretty fantastic.
Well, and I feel like it started with the first American Professional line. Like that was like a shift. It was like, okay, the American standards before.
My only slight disagreement there is I think it was 2015. They did the American standards with the 50s. God, those were good guitars. And if I could, I mean, like, I don't know, that would, like, I could play one of those guitars and be pretty ridiculously happy, I think. Not that I couldn't with an American Professional.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was something about that.
Something dope about that, right? Intrinsically dope.
And I think this is obviously just my opinion, right? But well, it's subjective, right? Because I'm sure there are people who view my stuff better. Like to me, that stuff is like the shinier, more like glassy, kind of like funk tone. Yes. Where the Fat 50s are more that warmer, kind of woodier kind of thing. And I like that. I just that more on the whole, you know. So I think maybe that's why I kind of dug that American Standard with the Fat 50s. I mean, to me, those are some of the best production guitars Fender have ever done, which is kind of wild because, well, that gets into weird territory because if you have a 57 Strat, it was a production guitar. I think people forget that, right? That like, there was no custom shop in the 50s and 60s, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and
they're all production guitars.
The way that I to people too whenever they ask, well, what's, you know, a custom shop isn't one of those guitars. It's like, yeah, it's not, but also something to remember is back then, they were just making guitars to sell them as like a production line, right?
If you wanted a Strat, there's a choice. Would you like black or would you like sunburst?
Yes.
Or a special color, you know?
That's right.
And you might see in the Chevrolet somewhere or something. Yeah.
Well, the kudos that I give to the custom shop or even like Gibson's custom shop is there's a team of people trying to make a really great guitar. To where back in the 50s and 60s, not saying they weren't trying to make great guitars, they were just trying to make guitars though and kind of get them out, you know?
I do think, and this could be weird nostalgia as well. I feel like in the 50s and 60s, generally, we tried to make things better to last. Like, you know what I mean? There's a shift somewhere in there where, like, it's like, oh, everything's, you know, throw it away and you buy a new one. Where back then, that wasn't necessarily the thought process. So, like, in that respect, it was probably a little more, maybe pride in the work or craftsmanship. But still, man, it was in a factory, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, it wasn't like artisan, you know?
Yeah, no, it was like, here we go. Yeah.
Like, well, I build guitars.
Let it rip.
Which is interesting to think about. And it's just like the other day we talked about, and this was just you and me on the live stream, or was it with Baxter? Somebody had made a comment about how none of those guitars were like aged or vintage when they made all the sounds that we chase on vintage guitars, brand new guitars.
Yeah, the pickups
were. Or maybe they were 5, 6 years old, 7 years old, 10 years old.
Everything was just there, what it was.
You know, so.
I mean, I can. We could land on the moon then. We've not been able to recently.
It's the Van Allen bits.
He's right.
Gets you every time. The radiation.
That's right.
No, I mean.
Maybe those magnets need a jump.
Probably.
Probably.
They got to weaken up a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, I'm double coffeed today.
Double fisted, baby.
Because Derek went to, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can see it. Derek went to Dunkin' and bought us these delightful heart-shaped donuts.
I believe he said he was a Dun King. Isn't that what
Is that a thing?
Well, that's the little Super Bowl
King.
commercial. Is it just? Let's get a viewer vote here in the comments. Do we all feel like the Super Bowl commercial was kind of wacking this year? Like they were kind of lame. I was disappointed.
I feel like there was a glory years, like a golden era of Super Bowl commercials.
Like in the 80s and 90s where there was just like the Budweiser.
At very least, like late 90s, you know what I mean? Like it was, all that cool stuff. And I feel like just nothing can live up to the hype of that now. Because we had some amazing ones. And I feel like the temptation is to recycle those.
Everything feels like a gimmick. And I'll tell you, I'm disappointed with, especially we'll talk about Budweiser, right? This is a little off topic, but the Budweiser commercials, if they do the Clydesdale rolling into some random place again, I might riot. It's so annoying. And it's always just like a different song. Now, here's where they failed.
I like this idea.
So they got Bud Light, right? Well, with Budweiser, people call it Bud Heavy. They played The Weight by the band. Why wouldn't they have made a Bud Head joke? It should have been like some junkie frat party, and then they come in with The Weight, and you got all these guys just riffing. Imagine if you got Bob Dylan and some of the guys from the band walking through in their old get-ups. Take a load off, Fanny. Bud Heavy. Bud Heavy. Yeah. That's a commercial right there. You would love that, dude. I'd love that.
I feel like they should have leaned into that.
Yes.
That would be pretty good. What is that noise? It's a volume swell. Let's see. Halftime was lame.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Here's the thing that we haven't talked about. Let's talk about her halftime playing. Is this on your radar? Do you care at all?
Yeah, it is. We can talk about it. I want to talk about the halftime show in general, but we can talk about the
Let's talk about that, because I saw 15 guitar magazine digital articles the guitar's back at Super Bowl halftime. Well,
it was last year too, and the year before that. Come on, guys.
This is also going to lead me into a Rick Beato video that I just watched. You probably watched it too. We're talking about the trends. When I play minor or fifth diminished power arpeggios, spin it up. I just need a piece, but
we love you, Rick.
I actually really do.
We do love you. I think you're
he's one of my favorite guitar channels to watch. Because his video, the interviews.
Yeah.
That's people say this to kind of suck up in the comments. They're like, these are amazing and they'll be around in 50 years and they blah, blah, archive. They really are kind of amazing.
Yes, because what's cool is, we're going to get off on a side tangent here with this Rick Beato stuff. Now, has there anyone else in music history who has done as good of a job of trying to go through, he's kind of gone to the 90s and tried to catalog all these people, and get a good interview with them and talk to them?
Well, and then when he talks to them, he knows enough to steer the conversation the right way, but then ruin it by talking himself.
Yes.
He just gets him going and prods and he all this cool stuff. And then, so he helps steer it to things because I think the things that he wants to hear about are the things that we actually want to hear about,
Yeah, and he has actually
thought-provoking, cool questions.
How loud, different singers are, and how their dynamic in the studio is whenever they're singing, or guitar players, or how they get the drums and stuff like that. How many takes did it take?
No, it's really cool to hear some of that stuff from the actual guys who were there, And you get it from a guitar player's perspective and then a producer's perspective and all that kind of stuff.
I want to answer Jen Rye real quick. Creed did not play the Super Bowl. They did play, I think it was the Rose Bowl or something like that. Look it up. 2003, Creed.
What's the video from Higher where he's doing arms out and he's shirtless, and is that at the Rose Bowl?
And the guys flying through the air. Yes.
That really happened. That was real.
It was great. On to the halftime.
It was a miracle. Okay.
Right?
Well, does it matter? Okay, let's talk about. I got some bullet points for you.
Yeah.
I don't know your thoughts.
Lay it on me.
Does it matter that she wasn't really playing? Because I think we know she wasn't really playing.
I'll give you a comparison. The Chili Peppers didn't really play whenever they played.
Well, but the Chili Peppers were a guest, right? It weren't really their halftime show, right?
Yeah.
Let's say that the Chili Peppers were doing the halftime show. do you think they would mind it? I think they would be like, nah, we're good. Like Prince said, I'm going to play it, right?
Yes.
And someone I like to read comments except when they're on our videos because sometimes our comments hurt my feelings. So I don't do that. But normally I like to read comments. And a lot of people said, like, listen, we're already shooting this game out to the whole world. Like, there's a lot of failure. It's not that many more from an actual concert. Because the thing is always like, well, they can take that chance, at the Super Bowl. Everything's got to go amazing, and there's just too many points of failure. And it's like,
have you seen Zeppelin from Madison Square Garden? They can.
I mean, I just kind of want them to take the chance. I feel like half the fun would be if they had little hiccups occasionally.
Yeah.
It would be kind of fun.
Well, a great case in point at the Super Bowl, Alicia Keys, the first note.
Obviously, their vocals were loud. I didn't think that was that bad.
I didn't either. I heard the mess up.
But I'm used to loud music,
Well, I kind of personally love that. I was like, oh, sweet. She actually is singing this. I was like, that's cool. That was dope.
And he was obviously singing it.
He was sweating, dude.
He was working hard, man.
He was working.
I just think, like, and I think people are questioning the her thing. Like, could she play that solo? It was probably her pre-recorded solo.
She could play that. I think. I
think probably. Now, was there anything like crazy extraordinary about solo? Not really. I mean, it was good. Like, it was absolutely very good. I think she's a good guitar player.
It was a great guitar solo. I mean, it wasn't
the best Mon Bob, but no. Now I've had to do that in a few situations, and I am horrible at it because I just tend to improvise solos, right? And so, like, even when it's my thing, I have to mime. I just usually am really not good. But anyways, it's hard to match up the vibrato and all that stuff and to attack. I don't know.
I want to give some perspective too on the Super Bowl halftime show as a whole, because for me, there's a lot of like nostalgia from being like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old and hearing a lot of these songs that I completely forgot about, like almost blocked out of my memory. I really enjoyed it, and I think like culturally it was pretty cool to see. And I feel like Usher surprised me because I was thinking, man, I don't even know what songs he's gonna play. Is he gonna play like just like I can only think of the one song? He played all those songs that I was like, I remember hearing every single one of these.
Listen, my wife rapped the whole like Ludacris Little John thing. She's like, you know this, right? I'm like, I really
iconic.
She knew every word.
Iconic.
I'm talking about like she did it when we heard that Usher was going to do the Super Bowl. She did that. I was like, who are you? What's happening?
Jeans, boots.
Anyways, so yeah, it was pretty iconic. I mean, I thought it was a fine halftime show. Whatever.
I thought it was too.
I don't know. I have a really strong feeling. I just think it's funny when we talk about and have these fights over like guitar in that situation.
Yeah, well, it's like, and here's the great point of this too, is last year, Nuno Bettencourt is at the Super Bowl playing, and he didn't play a guitar solo. He was playing power chords. Yeah. Yeah, it's like...
well, because guitars and all that stuff, I mean,
Yeah, but it's also like, man...
Well, this leads me into the
Rick Beato thing, right? You could let him rip, let him fly.
So apparently, Billboard puts out all these statistics every year, right? Like music charts. And Rick Beato put this up, like the curve for hip hop is going way down as far as like what percentage it takes up of those top charts. It's actually but it actually is a genre like,
Well, I'll give you some reasons with that too, right? So hip hop has reached a stagnating point. And
that's what he said.
It's a little sad, right?
He said, yeah.
Because even people within the hip hop community, it's our wonderful UPS man. He's a lovely guy.
Yeah, actually, we have the best UPS man, honestly.
We do. He's great. And he's like, he'll swing back by like 2 or 3 times and see if we got anything that needs to go. That's how much he loves us.
We got those 2 if you got room.
Yes, sir.
Cool, man.
You the man.
No rush.
What was I saying? Oh, hip hop. Hip hop on the downturn because honestly it has stagnated. There hasn't been anything too crazy, and your top guys right now, Playboy Cardi, are failing to deliver an album quickly enough to actually maintain the hype. They're kind of hype training everything to the point that it's like out of the realm, and people want, I think, real, raw, throw a mic up. I don't care if it's in time. I don't care how they played it. I don't care if they hit a bad note. I want to hear it. They want to hear the thing.
Well, according to Billboard via Beato. Never know how to say it.
Beato.
Beato. I like Beato. Beato is good. You know, like country and rock are rising.
Yeah.
The prevalence of guitars and everything, like as the main instrument, is going up, or piano, keyboard stuff is going down. It was really interesting, but I think the rock and country is because of what you just said. And I said that we talked about, not to like I was right, I'm a prophet. No,
Yes.
we talked about during COVID. Hey, I think people are going to go back to wanting to hear live, like actual music.
Well, and I think what has inspired people too, as of recent, has been more of a raw kind of effect. You know, if that makes sense. Like what I see being the inspirational roles from things in the 90s into the 2000s used to be these things that were a little more underground or a little more out of touch at the time that people are leaning into.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like raw sound.
Like not everything has to be quantized anymore. Not everything for a while was so polished, and half the instruments weren't real. And you know, I mean, I always said that. He's like, well, you know, he's like the piano's going down. He's like, but that was all MIDI files anyway. And he said the trap beats are disappearing. You know what I mean? Like in all the stuff where. So I find that interesting.
I think it was Anthony Fantano had a great video on this where he talked about trap music, especially, and how in comparison it can be to like disco, right?
Yeah.
And his exact points were like, you know, we're getting to a point that in trap music, especially, the hi-hat rhythms that we're hearing almost sound like cicadas. Like it's getting so over-processed that it's in your face, you know?
Right.
So I think that's a big part of it. You guys have a great day.
Yeah. Hey, y'all have a good one, man.
Yeah. That's right.
But yeah, somebody talking about the
it's another leap forward.
The sea of smartphones.
Yeah, you know, and I don't know. It's cool. I love seeing guys like Zach Bryan like kind of get out there and reach to that next level.
Really live sounding, like not necessarily probably even the guitar tones, right?
Yes.
Not for.
And you know, I think it's going to evolve. You know, it's definitely going to be like in the 90s where it wasn't necessarily what was happening in the 60s. It's going to jump forward and it's going to do something different. It's 30 years. And the same way at that point in time, it had been 30 years. A lot of people don't like the 70s music, you know, and into the 80s. Not that I personally think that, but the stuff that I do enjoy more seems to be the stuff that didn't catch traction in the way that some of the other more popular things did at that time, especially in the 70s. So. I don't know.
People are tired of the negativity and the foul language. I think there's some truth to that, you know, some of the hip hop stuff. I think that probably.
I can see some of that, you know.
You know. I think most of the people who don't like that probably never liked it. You know,
yeah,
most of the people who that don't appeal to.
You gotta get with the culture, bro.
I mean, I would kind of probably.
Happens every day, B.
Oh God.
Listen to the new Idols record. Do it. They'll probably never see this. I hope. I love everything about that band. Everything about it's perfect. Don't change a thing.
You do love that band.
They're amazing.
I sort of vaguely know what they sound like because you play them in here sometimes.
Apparently just anger. That's what everybody thinks. They're like so angry.
I don't know.
This new record is built around dancing. So somebody said, Boogie Woogie, go listen to that. Tell me what you think. You might be, at first, you'd be like, what? But listen to Dancer. You'll probably like the song. And then go listen to the whole album. Because it's worth it.
I think of Boot Scootin' Boogie when you said Boogie.
Look at this.
That classic record.
Idols is awesome. Going to seeing them in San Fran, baby. I'm going to be seeing them in, where? Asheville in September. So it's the first time I'm going to be able to see them.
Maybe I need to go see Idols.
I think you need to. I think we do a group trip.
Okay.
And
when is it?
We take some psychedelics when we get there. And we watch Derek melt while he's seeing this.
See some mechanical elves, baby.
Balding British man scream on stage and stomp around like an animal.
See, not what I would have pictured at all.
That's right. But I mean, it's nuts, dude. Like this guy is insane. I love it. I love it as an artist. I love it as a creative. It's incredible. Greetings from German guitar player. I like that. Germany's cool.
Yeah, see, I'm with David. I'm no prude, but sometimes I hear random rap lyrics. Good Lord. Yeah.
Well,
sometimes.
It's kind of weird. I want you to think about, put it into context to how some of early rock and roll was, where it's like, you know, I want to hold your hand, you know, like how that was viewed in that way back then. It's similar now. I think it's just the way that people talk as far as younger people, like the way that people speak to each other. Because you've heard my friends talk, and there's things that you say that you're like, what are you even saying right now? You know, whenever we say ripping, I won't finish it, but you know what I mean? Like, it's wide open.
Right. But I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. I just think it's...
Come on, dude.
I don't know. I do think there, and I'm sure it is a cultural thing, whether you think that's good or bad.
Explicit language warning happening in 3, 2,
Oh my God.
1. When Ice Spice said, bitch, you think you're shit, you ain't even the fart. That's hilarious. Like, that is like a dunk funny way.
That's not some of the most vulgar stuff to me, though. I do think that's hilarious.
Oh, it's not super vulgar, but like I could see that being, people could see that and be like, that's dumb. And I'm like, sure, it's dumb, but it's also like,
well, no, it is dumb.
But if you're ripping on somebody, if you want to drop an elbow, if I come to you, like, bro, you think you the shit, you ain't even the fart.
I mean, that reminds me, yeah.
You'd be like, damn, son.
Oh my God, like the meme where everyone's like, oh, you know, it reminds me of that. But
Gordon said, I want to hold your hand is way different than WAP.
No, Gordon, it's the time. It's cultural inflation.
It's cultural inflation.
I don't believe that, Gordon. I think they're a little different too. But hey.
Well, let me find another one to compare to. Like, what's
like maybe it's cold outside. It's really vulgar.
No, think about who is it? Jerry Lee Lewis, and like the whole lot of shaking going on and stuff like that. You hear some of the lines in that, and at that time in the 50s, that was like, whoa.
Well,
somebody get that man on a leash. They're like, somebody needs to teach that boy some manners.
There's some Waylon lyrics, some Waylon Jennings lyrics that were like,
another place I came in.
A warm place, right, and that I never really thought about that way. I was like, holy God.
Have you seen the live video of him playing with the grenades?
Yes,
and he's
yes.
Like, and she goes to say, oh my God, a place I came in. Like, reminds her.
That's what I just saw, and it reminded me of that. And I was like, oh.
It's like, whenever you see that, and what's funny is, too, there's a statistic out there, I'm sure everybody's heard it. What has the most, like, vulgar language or talks about, drugs, murder, sex, all that stuff? Country music is number one. They say statistically number one. And, thinking back on all the country songs that I know, the ones that I personally love, especially outlaw era stuff, forward, absolutely. And I dig that just as much. I'm one of those people, I can find just about anything and like it and dig it.
I'm going to make a super old man statement.
Do it.
No, you're going to be like, God, I hate you. You're an old man. I feel like a lot of that stuff, like the Waylon stuff.
Keep going. No. Well, I'll say it in a minute. It's just what you already know.
well, yeah. I mean, Jerry Lee Lewis. I mean,
Come on.
Maybe not the bastion of morality and good judgment.
What?
And at the same time, this is probably what
he also set a piano on fire at the Grand Ole Opry to piss off Chuck Berry.
Hell yeah.
There's like layers to that.
Boys will be boys.
No, you want to talk about hip hop? Like, there you go.
Probably. Which Chuck Berry is no sane, wonderful human.
Either, dude.
We've seen the videos, evidence.
Well, hang on a sec. We're not supposed to talk about those rock stars.
But what I would say is like the Waylon song.
Yeah.
I could have playing in front of my kids and they would have no idea.
Yeah, it's hidden. It's hidden.
It's the double entendres, and it's that kind of stuff.
To where it's a little more forward in hip hop. I definitely get
just
that.
A little. Dad, what did they say? What are they gonna do? Those guns and fire and drugs?
Well, my favorite thing is what's his name? What's the old our boy Ben Shapiro? What
you mean
P word?
Do you mean the greatest rapper in the world right
now? The '1 selling rapper.
Retired, batting 1,000. Only song he's ever put out, #1.
I want everyone to know that Kendrick Lamar is like 5'4", and I would just love to see a shot of him walking up. He's like in all this Western wear right now. It'd be hilarious to see him walk up to Ben Shapiro with sunglasses on, like with cowboy boots with spurs. He comes walking up, and he just goes, wham! Slaps him in the face and walks away.
And that would be, I don't care who you are, that would be entertaining.
That would be hilarious.
That would be entertaining. And then they had like a battle.
Like, deserved.
Maybe.
You're telling me, I, a human being in this reality, I'm not allowed to rip out what I would like to.
That's true. Yes.
You can rip out whatever you want to.
You can. Apparently you might get slapped by Amanda Spurs. What about the Beyonce country record? That's not really been on my radar, but apparently that's a thing.
I think it just is indicative of things going into a direction where people want to hear music. I think it's
Have you
funny.
listened to it? Is it good?
I've listened to bits of it. I really haven't deep dived it. Honestly, I'm a bad Beyonce fan because I'm not much of one, honestly.
I would not call myself a Beyonce. I don't care. I don't have a strong opinion about Beyonce, but
50 Cent versus Shapiro in a cage fight.
Ballad of Buster Scruggs energy. Yes.
I just watched that with my son.
Oh, it's so good, right?
Don't we all wish they would have just carried on with the beginning story with actual Buster Scruggs?
Yeah, I wish he would have went to heaven and it would have like reached a different plane. I thought that's what was going to happen.
What if he would have went to heaven and then they would have just done, 3 years earlier, like one of those kind of things, right?
I would have loved that.
How they get there,
Now, don't get me wrong.
That would be awesome.
The other stories are good, but to me, they're not as good as that singular story.
Well, I keep going back to watch it, and then I get to the other ones, and I always get bored about the time of the one they got to feed, who sits them down. I'm like, okay.
Well, that's like just almost so sad. And the fact that he, like, what happens to that dude. You know what happens to that dude. He gets thrown off a mountain.
Yeah. It's very sad. It makes me sad right now. What's wrong with us? I did start watching a new Netflix series. I know you guys are like, shut up. The Warrior. He's like, it's like Bruce Lee, but it's in San Francisco in like 1887 or something like that.
The only Bruce Lee that I need to see.
It's not really Bruce Lee. It's Bruce Lee-like character.
Bruce Lee-like character getting his ass whooped in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I still gotta watch that. I still haven't watched it.
Woo. Brad Pitt's a bad man, ladies and gentlemen. Chuck Berry was busy with his ding-a-ling.
My ding-a-ling. Oops, gotcha.
oops, sorry, baby.
I hadn't seen that Chuck Berry video.
That's
not appropriate for work, but worth watching.
In case children are at home today.
That's right. The Warrior's based on a story by Bruce Lee. Yes, that's it. I thought I said. But anyways, so far,
let's see.
Kind of enjoyed it.
I'm just gonna scroll back see if we missed anything of pertinence.
Jerry Lee Lewis married his 14-year-old cousin. Yeah, we know. That's true.
Honestly, that's it's funny how many times that's in here. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone. I do feel like you hear these atrocious stories, like the Aerosmith guy, like basically buying a 16-year-old to take on the road, and junk like that, and Jimmy Page with the underage girls. But I feel like Jerry Lee Lewis is probably one of the few guys who maybe it seems kind of like he suffered for it a bit, like he paid some consequences for his career.
Oh, absolutely. I mean?
Well, I think a lot of those guys didn't necessarily marry a girl, right? Yeah. They did these things that we would find really questionable.
And there's a great parallel.
Got swept under the rug.
I saw people compare. They were like, you got Jerry Lee Lewis, and then you got Elvis Presley, and they practically do the same exact thing, but the only difference is Jerry Lee Lewis was basically crucified for what he did, and Elvis.
Do you think it was because he was more open about it? Or do you think it was like the fact that it's his cousin?
I think it's because of the cousin thing.
Or just okay.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's right, but I'm also saying too, it's like, if you look at the Elvis situation too, in so many ways, it's disgusting. Don't get me wrong. Cousin business should be happening. I watched the Theo Von podcast where he was talking to somebody about that. It was Billy Strings actually.
I haven't watched that one yet, but I really want to watch that. Because I enjoy Billy Strings.
Billy Strings and him, it's like a match made in heaven. I think they should have a podcast together that just the two of them interview other people with, and they talk about music and stuff. It was great. Because what's cool is Theo Von has no idea about this bluegrass guy, so he's like, Billy Strings is like Tommy Emmanuel and stuff like that, and Theo's like, so is he like a good guitar player? And it's like, yeah, Tommy Emmanuel's a good guitar player.
I would say he's okay.
He's okay.
I mean, he's in my top 100, not Rolling Stone's top 250.
Gordon, I read your question taking it seriously until the last 4 words, and then I was like,
have you not been doing this long enough that we
I
love
should have
Gordon.
known
I love
Gordon was
Gordon,
gonna come in with
but
some
you can't take things seriously from old Gordon. Gordon is a master. I've seen it happen over and over and over.
Oh, that's great.
That Australian fella. Good old Bobby. We love Bobby too.
Here's a great show. Now, you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. I think you'll love it though if you give it a shot. Show on AMC Plus via Amazon Prime.
You lost me. Okay, if I can get it from Amazon
I think
Prime.
you can get it in Prime. It's a show called Kevin Can F Himself.
Okay.
And I'll give you a quick synopsis. The way this video breaks down, right? In each episode, it is one-part sitcom, right? So it plays like a sitcom from the husband's perspective, right?
Okay. All right.
And then as soon as he leaves the room, it turns into a murder thriller about the wife trying to kill the husband.
Whoa.
Only 2 seasons, 16 episodes, quick watch.
I really want to know if she gets him in the end, but you probably can't. Don't ruin it.
I can't ruin it for you, but what I'll say is they make the ending worthwhile to the point that I'm like, man, I want to watch this whole show over again. It's good. It's really good. I think you'd like it. It's something, if you can wrap your head around it and actually get into it and give it some time. Slow burn at first, but by the second or third episode, you're hooked. You're in love with all the characters. You feel like you know the characters because they're all real. Like, every character in that show, I could relate to with somebody in my life. And then you end up asking yourself, are we all kept to some extent? And it's like, me and Skylar talked about it a lot. We were like, that's kind of wild. Like, think about it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find that one.
It's nuts.
See, it's funny because I would have by that title, I probably would never have watched that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't care. I just would be like, yeah. You know.
It's good though. I was impressed. It's got the girl from Schitt's Creek, the sister in the show. She's been in a few other pretty good movies lately. I think she's super talented, a great actress. And I am sitting like a teacher, and I'll have to let you know, Bobby. It's not looking good.
Oh God. Bobby. Oh God.
Let's see.
Old George Jones show at Gillies, and he introduced the piano player as another cousin of theirs. Oh, that's pretty funny.
That is funny. George Jones, dude, I saw somebody come in here wearing this shirt with a bunch of possums on it. I was like, I didn't know you were a George Jones fan. Or not George Jones. Yeah. Yeah, right? George Jones.
Did they get it?
Yeah, he did. He laughed his ass off.
Okay.
He was like, that's hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad. I feel like that's a lost. People are not appreciating the old possum like they would have.
Oh, dude, come on. You know what I think is funny is like 80s George Jones. Who's gonna fill their shoes in the hair too?
It's like the part, but it's like it's like, man.
What you stole Tammy's hair?
And you think to yourself, like, what would you have to do to your hair to make it stay like that? Like a lot of hairspray. I ain't cocaine. I massage cocaine into my scalp. But like the other day, my son stayed with my grandparents, who are in their 80s, and they're fantastic, wonderful people. But he likes to go over there because he lives like a king, right?
Of course.
They mess around outside. He gets on the couch. They cook him like grits and sausage and whatever he wants. You know what I mean? And it's just like make special like sweet tea.
You mean what grandma and grandpas are for, dude?
Yeah, but so and then he like lays on the couch and like watches like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy and then westerns, right? Gunsmoke,
you're describing my childhood.
Right because that's what it should be, right? It's amazing. It makes me so happy that he does. Because I did the same thing with him, but I go over there the other day. I dropped him off. We had been working at my dad's farm, and so he was pretty disgusting. So I was like, hey, if you got junk he can put on, like if he takes a shower at your house, because I had to go play, and so I drop him off. Come to get him later, and obviously he's clean. He's had a bath or shower or whatever, but his hair. So like my grandfather like blow dried his hair because their generation that's just what you do. It's like the George Jones kind of thing. I should just have this giant.
We need to sculpt you.
Bar. I was like, wow. It was like feathered back, and I was like, oh, okay. He's like, great, dried my hair. I was like, all right. Cool.
I remember being really young and my grandpa come down there and like especially what's that? Give me 1 second, all right?
Come over. I'll stay here.
I'll
entertain the people.
I think I got a solution.
Ooh, I got to. All right, pause that. I'm going to answer this 12 or 14 fret preference. I just think they're different. I don't have a preference. Generally think I prefer, like, just for every things, I probably like 14 just because it has like a push. But something really fun about the 12 fret stuff. Like the Taylor 12 fret stuff is really fun. It's just got this kind of slinky feel. So for all that fingerstyle blues, I kind of really dig it. But anyways, some Gunsmoke action. I'm glad to see there are Gunsmoke fans on here. But yeah, Rob, that answers your question. I don't know. I just think they're different. The 12 fret stuff's great for some stuff. Generally, I probably like that. Favorite acoustic body shape. I'm a dreadnought guy myself. I like dreadnoughts. I've had a lot of dreadnoughts. I'm a larger framed individual, so they don't bother me, and I love the way they sound. But I have been pretty obsessed with the whole triple aught Martin body shape lately. It's just really comfortable. I like the way it sounds. But in a perfect world, I'd have something like that and a knot. be that like a J45 or like a D28 or D18 maybe. So yeah, I don't think there's a better. I think there's just what's the best application for what you're doing. Obviously, if you're playing bluegrass, you need a big old dreadnought, or if you're, strumming. But anyways, hello Blues 627. Is that a 2-rock stack in the corner? It is. No, it's not actually. That is a Smart Bell, which are 2-rock-ish. I think they were a Texas-based company for a while. I'm not sure they're still building amps. Pretty cool though. Very much like the Cascade game thing, sort of like a 2-rock kind of vibe. But we have some 2-rocks, and that is right underneath it. I don't know if you can see it. You kind of can. It's one of those older the 2-rock sensors, which I think was the precursor to a TS1. But anyways. What Fender style guitars have nitro finish? Having a hard time finding anything? Well, that is because the vast majority have poly finishes at this point. Pretty much 90% of the custom shop stuff probably that we see at least has nitro finishes. There's a few like the reissued things that are gonna have nitro, like the Mike McCready or like artist signatures. They did a run of the Venteras that were nitro, but most of the production stuff is gonna have poly, So yeah, you almost have to order. Now all the Gibson stuff is nitro. All the PRS stuff at this point is like a weird nitro kind of blend, but not so much on Fender. Derek,
I'm here.
you get to see Derek on this side of the camera. Derek's basically Brad Paisley to the camera. He's about to wow you.
There we go.
Except for Sean's guitar has basically no frets. So as long as you don't bend, you're fine.
Yeah, if you like square frets, it's perfectly square. All right, let's see. Setups, fretwork, or Raleigh.
I'm assuming there's somebody good at Harry's. How we go, man? Where's that? Where's that guy they call the Fret King or something like that? He's up that way, right? I don't know who that is, but there's in Durham is Hanson Crawford. They're ridiculously good. They used to just have a crazy wait time because they have so much stuff, and I don't know if they're still going or not. We've got a guy closer to here now in Sanford that we use all the time. We've been using for a long time, so I really don't. I'm out of the loop a little bit around Raleigh, unfortunately. But yeah, maybe I'd check at Harry's. I see them in the forums and the buy sell trade groups all the time. People talking about them, so I know they exist. I just don't know who they are.
Do we want to do the big reveal?
Oh yeah.
I think we probably should do the big reveal.
Why don't you
Sean,
go get it?
Catch this Martin.
It's right behind.
Catch the Martin Hoss. It's my new rig.
Johnny's gonna play this at the next Blues Jam.
You know I am. We're gonna do a proper demo of this, but it cuts like a knife. This tone. I keep forgetting the camera's over there.
Actually, I played it, Johnny, and it actually sounded pretty damn good. I played it through the Princeton reverb.
Razor sharp tone, baby.
You'll be playing 6, 4, 5, and 1 all night long, baby.
Oh my God.
Is that a Machine Gun Kelly song?
That's every Machine Gun Kelly song. Right?
Oh, that was the chord progression.
6, 4, 5, 1. Does it go to 1 really, then? That's weird.
Who knows? Maybe it goes to 6. Keep it all emo.
I will say, when it came, it was in tune when it arrived.
I mean, like, it's got really... Oh, that was the thing about to fall out of the chair, Derek. I don't know if you can see, really. Like, it's got really nice little lock and tuner things.
So it's a solid piece of wood.
I mean, it looks good, but, we were leaving the plastic film on or whatever. Shout out to our good friend Surrender for sending us this thing. Crafted in South Korea. I mean, but I'll be honest, right? Like, I did not expect much as far as the feel of it and everything, but it actually
Yeah,
feels pretty good.
It's a solid wood guitar with a machined metal sort of faceplate, like a giant metal pickguard.
Yeah.
Does it get any better than that, though?
I mean, I know, it does say set up to play by Schecter. in Sun Valley, California. I mean, the neck is nice and satiny.
Very Esquire-y with a humbucker.
I mean, I feel kind of bad playing like blues licks on this. Like it wants to go, you know.
That needs to be into drop E tuning immediately. Even lower. The whole thing, one octave down. Not drop D.
Drop H.
Come on, full circle.
Drop C, baby. Drop C.
Yeah.
We're into baritone land.
Does it gent?
I probably. I don't.
Bum, bum. Johnny's like, what?
Here, where'd that tuner go?
Let's see if we can.
Oh God. We have no tuner. Nothing like a clean tone for all your gent needs. What is that?
I'm gonna look up some machine gun.
Derek, kill the reverb a little bit on that crazy amp. I mean, I want a little bit, just not that much. I mean, that's, you know.
I mean,
What's that do?
let's.
All right.
That's
Oh,
just a
a
kill
kill
switch.
switch.
That's all. Yeah.
It's stealing my sneeze. Here's your Machine Gun Kelly song. D-A-G-D-G. Back to D.
I have no idea how that's supposed to go, but
I mean,
that's okay.
That's the song.
That's probably it, right? You know.
So how often, if ever, have we got to unbox and be the first ones to put our hands on a shooter? This is the
Never.
first. What do you think about the fit and finish of that
Good.
guitar? I mean, the
Very
frets
good.
are smooth. I mean, you gotta. It's no.
Only the best for modern day Jimmy Page.
How much was this guitar?
$1,500.
So $1,500. No gig bag.
No bag, no case. of
No
any kind,
case.
right?
It came wrapped in plastic.
It's a bomb.
He just throws the back.
Surprising. You would think that.
I would have
at
thought for
that
that
price
price, you get a gig bag.
At least a little something. Like
Only for a guitar, you know, that's not a conventional shape. Not that this won't fit in normal old gig bag. It's kind of like Bo Diddley vibes
Yeah.
to me, you know what I mean?
Do you think they mocked Bo Diddley when his guitar came out?
red shape that's like the kickstand in the back.
Yeah,
Is that a gift?
that was a Guild Thunderbird.
Do you think that got one too? Because it's kind of like a square, but like oblong.
It's kind of like an offset.
I don't know.
It sounds pretty good with the
This
slide.
would be a really fun slide guitar, actually. Because, you know, you can get way up here, so. Well, actually, it's not as easy as you'd think. Not as much access
Johnny,
as you'd
this
think.
you need to kick off the blues jam with this guitar.
Like,
We got.
all right, boys.
Is this courtesy of Surrender?
Yeah. Yeah.
We might have to live stream the blues jam, and you kick off the blues jam with,
With
this.
we'll talk to Surrender and see.
We'll have it
he would
hidden
let
in the
us grace
case.
it-
We'll have it
grace
hidden in the
ourselves.
case beside the stage.
From
And you just put your 335 down,
yep,
and you
yep.
grab this, and we hear the gas.
from Greenie making an appearance at the Blues Jam to Machine Gun Kelly. By God,
You can't get any
that's
farther. Two ends of the spectrum.
The truth is stranger than fiction sometimes.
I mean, it's been a minute since we've had a guitar that was probably this polarized.
Since the Silver Sky, probably.
Yeah. Because the Telly thing, nobody really.
I mean, they have as much fanfare probably as that.
This broke the internet when
it came out. Does anyone? Here's the question, right?
The Acoustic just annoyed the internet.
Well, it did. I think the Acoustic annoyed the internet more when it was like, now a Strat version, now a Jackmaster version.
Yeah, just kept going, right? To where this was
they all
like
sound different.
Shattering. Like,
Here's the thing though. Do people still care now? Like now that it's out, are people still talking about it? I don't know.
Ooh, I talked to somebody about that the other day.
Surrender with like scorpions, please.
That's a...
There we go.
Not every day you get to pull it out.
You ask and I deliver. We're right there. Thank all those years of whoring myself out on Broadway.
Dance.
That's right.
Here's some peanuts. Dance for me.
Like it's not every day Johnny gets to pull that one out. He's like, bam.
Oh my God. If it's not teaching that to children, it's taking
playing
requests.
It for golfers.
Playing it for golfers. My God. I need a shirt that says that.
Play me a Tom Petty song.
Come on, man. Come on.
Just to really illuminate this for everybody else on the channel, Jonathan is a pro guitar player.
It's a loose term.
I
know.
You learned the whole solo to jump for a gig.
I did.
That's intense. Like you
Poorly.
went to the details. You weren't like, I'll learn part of it. You did though.
I mean, you got to sometimes, right?
You go deep.
That's just the way it goes. You got to do it sometimes.
Here you go, Sean. I'll get you back on camera, man.
You got to do it.
I'm too distracted. There's a lot of pretty girls walking by.
And then we decided. Listen, we decided to live stream this morning, and we were supposed to lock the door, and then we forgot, and then people started coming in. It was very distracting. I was like, my ADD couldn't handle it. But
okay.
It was really funny because
there's nothing I love more than
when
somebody comes in that's been waiting for Sean to fix their guitar.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best thing.
It was great. He was all pumped, and I was like, dude, I don't have parts. I won't name the company that is screwing us right now, but they are royally screwing me on.
Does it rhyme with render or Rumac?
Neither one, baby.
Neither one. Okay. What kind of guitar does he have?
I'm wondering who it is. I know. Now I know for sure.
There you go, Sean. Sean's eating one of the donuts I brought in for President's Day Donut Day.
But man, I've eaten too many already. What are we gonna do for President's Day lunch, boys?
All I want to know is, since we're eating donuts, sound off if you're in the 250 club, because I'm quickly approaching.
I see it back there. I see that 250, baby. In my past, a svelte 250, as they say. Here.
Am I on the court?
Only slightly. But I will say, before we move on, that I am impressed with this thing. Honestly, I'm actually impressed. I think it's
full demo.
There will be. Well, we get some overdrive and shred the way God intended on this.
You're damn right.
Machine Gun Robinson.
I've been called that. I've been called it.
Whoa, that's the title right there.
You give me a semi-auto 12 gauge. Watch me go to work. The doves, the quit matter, whatever they are, they're tremble in fear.
You and Jeremy Wright need to start a group that's called Guns and Robinson.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
We did talk about
it, baby.
Jeremy didn't want to do a like a twin guitar sort of thing. One day we'll have to do it. Even if it's just a special occasion,
Don't worry.
I'm
gonna be just an FYI. I'm gonna be digging deep into Jonathan and Sean's Facebook pages and YouTube channels for some video intro content.
Oh my God!
So stay tuned.
Mine's all boring. It's fine.
I went to the dentist the other day, and somebody from my past, whenever I was like 4 or 5 years old, saw me, and she's like, "Do you remember me and stuff?" It was great. She's one of my mom's friends, she asked me, she said, I thought you went into the military. There's a photo of me somewhere online of me and JROTC standing next to my dad in my uniform, and she just assumed that I joined the military.
Thank you for your service, John.
Yeah, I was like, I did for a little bit.
The closest thing that Sean's gotten is a KISS Army or Seven Nation Army. That's about
Exactly. And I can't even barely do that. It's great.
Mayor McCheese is down here speaking our language. I like it. All sorts of things going on.
Go at 2:30. I get it. I like it.
I'm dating myself, but it looks like a toy guitar. No, you're not dating yourself. It does. You're not wrong.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think this is
very tiny. It's
no one is
small.
like the tone woods from this thing are great. I mean, it's
All right, boys.
The razor blade.
Serious discussion. What are we having for lunch?
Tell us in the comments right now. What should we have for lunch?
Should we give them some of the Hall of Fame options that
Yeah.
we have?
I mean, sometimes on holidays we've been known to go wild.
We
And by
go
wild I mean Buffalo Wild Wings. Because nothing says good time like 80 boneless wings for 3 days.
What's better?
And you wonder why we all have irritable bowel syndrome.
What's even
I'm
better
pretty healthy, Derek.
is whenever
Get
Baxter
health.
shows
That's
up.
the blood in your stool.
It's a normal level. Totally normal level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's that. There's the Tokyo Express family package that we usually get.
Cupcakes from the shop next door. I'm not saying we won't have those, but they can't be your lunch,
I mean,
for God's sake.
we still have 8 donuts to eat.
Yeah. And listen, normally when we get to the store, it's to get the stuffed brownies.
Sponsored by Dunkin'.
If you're going
Dunkin'.
to C Cups, you're
Dunkin',
sleeping on the stuffed brownies.
We need to get the remote cam from the phone. We need to go pull it up
And start going
and start going there in the middle of our live streams. In fact, that
What's it like and everything?
we'll
anything to say
go
to the
remote to
people?
the phone.
We're a step away from being like when David Letterman used to send the people down the street. You know what I mean? Like
We totally could.
I did just enjoy that.
That's
But
hilarious.
hey,
It might need to be a segment.
does it float? Do you remember that? Or like they painted the girl who was always like grinding on the grinder on her metal underwear. I always enjoyed that segment as well.
I'm more of a Triumph the insult dog.
You just made me think about this gig-wise things that you've seen as of the last few months, and I can only think of that lady grinding on that dude. It was like I went out there. It was cold as hell.
I had
John
forgotten that.
Solo acoustic. You blocked it out of your memory because that's hard. It was cold as hell. No one
And I was like,
out there.
what is going on? Dude, the fact that I was outside.
It was bad.
What was
dude.
this?
This was
This was like, it was the end of last year, November.
yeah.
It was at the Beltry. I mean, you guys don't care about the Beltry, but I mean, not anything against the Beltry, but yeah, there was this couple, and they were just.
When you come to visit Casino, you'll probably go to the Beltry to eat lunch.
Probably.
It's right next door. It's a cool.
We probably
place.
will.
It was just cold. I think it was a last minute gig too. Like this, it was like a spur of the moment thing. So you
It
didn't
was.
really
You're
get
right.
to push it.
You're right.
So it was
You're right.
just like no one was really there, and we.
Well, I mean, when
it
you're
was
playing
cold as
like
hell.
local bar restaurants that you play over and over again, I mean, there's just
We won't have that. There are
Yeah.
people who travel around and see Johnny Rob
well.
play. And
This
that's
is
a
true
fact,
sometimes.
baby.
This is sometimes true.
There are Johnny Rob fans.
It's yes.
Hordes.
Not much to do here. It's slow. When you said that, I didn't think about some of the craziest, like wildest things I've seen gigging, like on
What's
stage.
the craziest?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yeah,
top
for you,
3.
I know some of the stories, but
craziest
tell
gigging.
me, yeah.
The craziest thing I've ever seen, man, and God got me if my wife is watching, but
Turn off, Christy.
Christy.
Turn off.
Shut it off.
with the kids in the other room. No, this was playing downtown Broadway, and this girl comes in. Just so you get context, we didn't know this, but she was an Amish girl on the Rumspringa thing, where they would go crazy, go wild.
Rumspringa.
She comes running out in the door, like through the crowd, barefoot. She got this white dress. She jumps up on the sub, like this, laying down in front of the stage.
Surrender.
You were the
Lunch,
man,
baby.
You were the man. There's our
Thank
wings
you.
right there.
Supplies us with guitars and sustenance.
$50 for the big dog, 25 each for the pups.
Which one's the big
pup?
dog?
Yeah,
Who's the
I'm gonna Sean's the big dog.
You gotta be the big dog.
At the very least, Derek's the big dog, the big D.
Surrender. I just want to say too. I don't think we've done a live stream since this point. I'm having surgery on Wednesday too, so I won't be there if y'all do one. It'll probably be with Baxter. Or
Yeah.
Maybe the two of you will even do one, right?
Don't worry.
So basically, it'll be no ears entertaining.
I might show up and be on camera.
That would be the best.
I think we go
That's
remote
best.
to Sean's mom for a check-in.
The mom cam.
And it's, believe me, you want to check in on
It's
that.
gonna be
She's
great.
pretty attractive.
Jesus.
Sean's mom's great.
She's,
I won't comment on
She
the
is
other part.
And
nothing.
she's mine and Johnny's age.
It's terrible.
Sean's a young man. I
Young
can't,
and
you know,
disgusting.
I had all weekend, I feel like I had these reminders that I'm old. Like you know what I mean?
Oh,
Because like, I still fancy myself a young man. And then I'm like, wait a minute. No, you're not. You're the old guy.
Well, let me ask y'all this.
Dang
We'll
it.
get a little philosophical for a moment.
heavy breathing going upstairs. Belly to belly.
I believe they used to call it buckle to buckle.
It's belly to belly for me.
If you, so whenever you were 25 years old, did you ever feel like there was a shift where it's like, oh, fuck, I feel like I'm actively in control of my life right now, like as an adult in a weird way?
I can remember like sort of strange moments of that. Being like, oh, wait a minute. It's
feel
just
like,
me.
Well, I feel like I've hit this weird point where it's like go time, and I'm
There-
like, all right.
That was probably, I bet that's different in the Army.
Yeah, at 25, I think I was in Iraq.
Yeah.
At 25.
You're right, Derek's a big dog too.
Thank you.
Another 25 for you. Damn. Well, I guess that solves that.
Sorry, Sean.
It's okay. I don't.
Yeah, at 25, I was in Iraq, and I think my wife was pregnant. I think. But yeah, that was.
Damn, dog.
I went from college to Nashville
To Iraq.
to Iraq.
Change.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll make you feel, you know, I'd imagine.
It's got to
growing
age
up.
you a bit, right? Like you felt like
Well,
by the
that's-
time you were there,
that's-
were you like,
so-
because you were leading men in war at the same
Yeah, I
point
was
too,
a
right?
platoon leader. Yeah, no, that's where I got real sick the first time with my stomach stuff. So, all right, here's a good Iraq story.
This is why we need Derek all the time.
This is why I have the disability that I have. So we lived with these Iraqi police guys, right? So they would always come over and want to like spend time with us. So we were like co-located, but like there was a wall around the spot. So they would always come, and everybody would disperse, and then the person around was me. So I would end up having to go eat with the Iraqi police, and they had this fish one day, and there was like a little river that went behind our place that was disgusting. And I said, "Where did you get the fish?" And they said, "Oh, we got it from from the city, and it was fresh." And so I was like, not to offend them, I ended up eating it with them and got the worst food poisoning for like 4 days. 4 days I was down.
Because it came from
And
the
that's-
shit creek back there.
And that's the first time I crapped my pants. And then
Story time.
so now I've got ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, so, or could be burn pits, who knows?
I mean,
Who knows?
not that everybody wants to hear my down
Well,
memory
I
lane for
enjoy
Derek's
these.
Iraq story.
I
I
do too.
enjoy this.
Yeah.
I mean, surrender is
Yeah.
the real big dog. That is
I mean,
straight up.
he is.
And as far as the disabled vet club, yes, we do support the disabled vet club, and we go
do.
hardcore.
Mary
here.
McCheese, it definitely is
It
not the
would be
last time.
It was-
My favorite is the Pentagon story. You don't have to share that though if you don't want.
you
to.
should
Oh,
just
yeah.
you should just see some of the memes that we send because of this. They're pretty.
At a certain
Pretty
point,
fun.
you got to be able to laugh at yourself.
You do.
You do.
It's true.
You do. You do.
I'll answer that momentarily.
you know,
You're
um,
good.
yeah, we did
That's
the same
my
thing.
dentist.
Your dentist. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
I'll
already
talk
talked
about
about it here.
I think we need
Your digital
Sean's mom.
adventure.
Stand off in the comments if you want to see a remote cam from Sean's mom. I think that would be ideal.
I think I'm gonna come here after the thing. She's gonna have to probably take care of me for the rest of the day. Haven't really vetted that out because Skylar's working. Baxter told me he's like, you can come and stay
What
here.
day is it?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, like day after tomorrow, right?
I think you'll recover easier than you think. I want to
Okay.
say when I had my wisdom teeth taken out, I think I had Taco Bell that same day.
That tracks.
Because
And then it was another
Hard
episode.
shell
I had
tacos.
soft tacos.
He's like,
That was my sophomore year of college.
Give
I
me
think.
nachos.
freshman and sophomore year. Yeah.
I gotta get all four ripped out of my head.
Yeah, I
It'll
had
be
to, I
awesome.
had to do that.
I'm
Around
never-
your age,
yeah.
probably maybe even a hair younger, but
I'm worried about the
that's
dry
fine.
socket thing. and I'm worried about the water pick. I'm afraid of blowing out the blood clot.
You'll be fine.
That's it.
You'll be totally fine.
I heard
Are they making you do a water pick thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
they told me I need to go to CVS, but like this is also, I don't go to the doctor.
Have you ever had like a tooth pulled when you were a kid?
No. I'm pretty methodical with my shit. I get worried about it. Just because
Sean
I
brushed his teeth.
I had teeth pulled when I was a kid. Did you ever have a tooth pulled when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Now they just yank them out of kids' mouths.
Give me the fucking
Yeah.
pliers.
I mean, and when I got braces as like a teenager, they're like, I got to pull these 4 teeth to make room. I'm like, that doesn't seem right, but they did.
You're the boss.
whatever you say, doctor.
So my mom isn't like the stereotypical sweet Lodian mom. She's like,
she's got some grit about her.
yeah, she's got like tattoos and shit.
Way.
She's pretty dope. She's got good tattoos though. It's not like the white trash.
No,
Like
they're
bullshit,
good
like,
Good weight. Sean's mom is kind of like.
Here we go.
No, she's kind of like the mom from Sons of Anarchy. Like she's got that sort of like I'm a badass.
I can see that.
Like don't mess with me.
Yeah, but she's like a little sweeter,
but like a little more
and a little
classier
better
than
that,
you know.
Yeah.
But like that tough sort of like exterior
Yeah,
that she's got.
I can see that. That's a good comparison. Yeah. What's funny too? We haven't met your mom. Derek's mom's great. Your mom.
My mom's.
Have you guys not met my
mom's
mom?
an
She's come
old
through
lady.
here.
I feel like your mom was born as a grandma. Like she is just so
Dude,
like
my mom-
She is like
cookies.
I'm gonna
perfect
show.
for that.
All right, so listen. In one of the videos this week, I'm putting pictures of everybody's moms on there, so you can see your moms, right?
No, listen.
When they were young.
Put them up and have people vote who they
Who's
think
mom?
is
Yeah.
What's that show called? It's called MILF Man.
It'll be just. I'm feeling less and less comfortable with this.
MILF Manor, baby. You're right, Joe.
Oh man.
That's
See what we
fucking
do all day
hilarious.
long.
This is how the
We
ideas
are,
get.
We're working.
We are idiots.
Baxter's probably watching this. He's not here.
I think he's driving.
These losers. I would like to say, did you guys comment on there about he's watching from the UK and he's always astounded at cup sizes from America? You're right. You're not wrong.
Pull up the big gulp coffee.
I mean, they're both full of, well, whatever. But
Well, I think your caffeine intake just grows as you get older, right? Do 2
I was
8
just
ounce
going to
cups
say,
every morning.
the difference I think is we will have that cup for hours. But in the UK, it's like everywhere you go, every 15 minutes, they're like, you want some tea? So, and they're little cups, but it's constant. So I feel like it probably all evens out,
Probably does.
I don't know. That was my experience in the UK, but constant tea.
Well, how long have we been on? An hour and 17 minutes.
I know. We probably should
I mean,
do like actual stuff.
I'll throw this out there before we do anything crazy. Is there any guitars in the shop that you'd like us to talk about in here that you maybe have seen on the website? Like, just to somewhat do our job?
Nah.
If there's anything that you know, you probably don't. But if there is, leave it in the comments and we can check it out.
Is there any President's Day discounts?
Definitely. Yeah.
Got to call for those, though.
You got to call and I'll give you a President's Day discount, baby.
You
Any
don't
of
want
us
to be
can.
in
We'll
map
let you know.
violation, by God.
It's only on the used stuff.
Baxter's gone for another 2 hours, so we can just.
So we'll sell them for whatever we want. We're making
decisions.
decisions today.
I want him mad, baby.
I mean, you might never see us again. We might all be fired.
We can put the order in for the food, and then we can have that prepared. So whenever we'll answer a couple of these questions on whatever guitars
You're not
people
wrong.
might want to see, and then we'll let them rip. I mean, that could be.
Do
some
we
rock
want
and roll.
Tokyo?
What does everybody want to do?
I'm me. I can eat anything.
We can do anything.
I've got a
Let's do Tokyo.
gut like
Tokyo.
steel.
Tokyo Express. I'm
cauldron.
calling it in. I'm calling it in, boys.
Calling it in.
Nice.
Pull the trigger. I like it, Lexington Daniel.
Pull it. Sell us on something, lad. I mean, there's just so many good things.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this. Let's
I
do
like
this.
this one right here. Hang on. And then, which one guitars in the shot gets the least amount of love? That's low key a sleeper.
There is always one. Sometimes more one, but there always is one. I'm about to show. I was going to say we should pick out our favorite custom shops right now.
Let's do that, and then we'll pick out the sleeper ones that we think are really good that don't get enough love.
My favorite in the shop right now, and I if money was no object,
You grab yours. I'm gonna grab mine.
it's this thing right here. Bam! No. We froze. No, okay. Now this thing, thin line. They're not TV Jones. They're like they are TV Jones.
Yeah.
They are TV Jones. The neck is amazing. My only gripe is I'm not a crazy fan of the locking tuners, but who cares about that? This man, I would actually love. I'd own this guitar and play the crap out of it because it's really good. What's yours, Sean?
So we have an array of Sunburst Strats, and honestly, the whole bottom 4.
Sean is Sunburst. I mean, they are all
I'll take
really
any
good.
of them. I mean,
I just
seriously,
rather have this at the moment.
these are great. Like, I'm blown away. Like, I'm this close to getting rid of my custom shop Strat for one of these. I know I can't because it's like I'm bonded with the thing, but this is like.
I had a moment. Of I would trade my Strat for this, but I can't do it. I don't know if I did that.
Action.
Roasted
Flame.
maple. Not too relic.
We've had some great roasted stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys both picked Sunburst Strats. Way to get creative.
Well, you know.
Good job, guys.
And to answer your question on what gets love, I think a lot of times stuff like this gets overlooked. But, dude, Skylar brought this up. She's like, "How is it that you don't have a Sunburst guitar, but like you always talk about how classic of a color it is?"
I don't either. It was just weird.
I think for a time
Sometimes
I thought
you
it
steer
was
away from it.
generic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it can't be something like that because everybody has that. Kind of like, it's cool. It's kind of like a really good violin.
Well, I've never had black guitars, and I've been on like a black guitar. I mean, this is like sort of beyond that it's cool and black. Like, I mean, this thing plays. The neck, I mean, it's sort of subtly flames.
Yeah.
But it just feels great. This is just, I don't know. Sometimes you get them.
Yeah.
I mean, the setups are always pretty darn great from the custom shop, but this one's just kind of magic.
Busting it up, baby.
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, are you opening one live?
Pop it open.
Yeah, they're just good. What is this? PRS? Purse guitars. Ow!
Here we go, baby. A core.
Staples.
How are we gonna do this?
Put them on the chairs.
Here you go. Yeah.
All right. Which way does it open? It opens this way, yeah?
It doesn't matter.
Oh no!
Reveal for
Flip it.
everybody.
Flip it the other way. Yep. Pull it towards you. There you go. There you go.
All right. Johnny?
I'm ready. Hold on. Do it. I don't even know what it is. Oh,
That latch.
whatever.
Ooh.
Huh. I mean, that's pretty cool.
I didn't expect that.
Someone's not what I expected.
A green 594. The top you probably can't see too hot on the camera there, but it's
Put it in front of
It's a good top.
pretty good.
and I'll make sure.
Is that a 10 top? It is, right?
Let's see. Let me make sure it's zoomed in.
Yeah, it looks good too, right?
Uh-oh. Back up just a hair and down a little bit, Sean. There you go. Now down a little bit. There you go. Oh, yeah.
Slick. To the back. Natural
594.
Natural back. I'm a natural back kind of guy. The black back.
Gordon says slime green. It is kind of like Slimer colored. If you were a cartoon Ghostbusters fan back in the day.
Great guitar.
Or reptilian. I'd say it's Liccato. More Slimer. Slimer was right. Slime green was right.
I think it's cool. I think it works. Impressive. Way to go, PRS. You did it again. We have a ton of core pieces in right now, too.
A
So
ton.
if there's anything
And
you're looking for, give us a shout.
A new place to see them. We haven't
Yes.
talked much about that, but
We
a new
haven't.
place
You
to
know
see them.
what? Part of me wants to go.
You think you
Should
can?
go live to the back room.
Can you
Should
do
we?
it from the camera?
Can the camera move? I mean, I guess the camera can
Let me
move.
see this. Let me try something.
Okay, we're experimenting now, guys. It could go off the rails at any moment.
Anything's possible.
It could go poorly though.
Reptilian. I like it. The pair of cum bucket. What?
Yeah. Sure.
You lost me. Oh, pair of cumbuckers, I meant. Oh. Well, I mean, you know. Ventura
Kind of a-
270s Telly. No, we haven't had one of those in, actually, surprisingly. We should probably get one. A buddy of mine's looking for his 70s style Telly, so maybe I'll order one.
All right, Johnny. Let's see if Johnny can make it to the back.
With the mic on?
Let's just try it.
Rock.
All right, hold on.
With or without, it doesn't matter. Sean, you tell us what's happening.
I can't see anything from my screen.
He's not going to be able to see it.
Okay. Can I see it from your computer? Should I test it from there and watch it?
Let's see here. Make sure my camera is.
Oh, dude, I love the Sun reboot, Gordon. I want to play one. I've been able to play one in person, so I don't know how it sounds on that end. But the videos I've heard, and it looks bad. It's big.
All right, Sean. Let's see here.
Sean's monitoring.
Might be slightly echoey, so don't talk.
Yeah, baby. I can see it from here. Y'all go to the back. I'll answer the comments while y'all do that.
All right.
We're alone, guys. Let's talk about the real stuff.
Here we go. That was still top secret.
This might be
Dude,
too early of a
man,
reveal,
that would be sick.
but a collection of killer.
We also built that whole back wall,
Say it's good looking.
which is dope. Me and Derek and Johnny and Dylan.
Custom
Fun
shops,
stuff.
DRSs. All this whole wall was built by mostly Derek and Sean. I'm gonna say. I mean, I did some things, but they did more. Got some cool amps around the room, but obviously the guitar wall is sort of the deal.
It's a pretty cool PRS.
It's backwards.
The BMW strap.
The Terry Cass.
Terry calf. Give me 1 second.
All sorts of stuff. So
Let's come to the acoustic area, Johnny. Some of these people have never seen our shop.
this is true. So when you come out of the main shop, you know, sort of got a whole wall. That's sort of random stuff. We'll go to this little room first. It's full of Martins. A few cool things. The glasses over here.
Collect some Loudons.
That's one of that's the D18, the authentic 37 aged. Some other cool things. The beautiful one. So loud stuff on stands, and then you go into this little alcove, we'll call it, full of Taylors. And we've sold a lot of Taylors lately, so we need to actually.
And we're going to be at Earlfest here coming up with a bunch of Taylors.
That's a pretty neat guitar. You can see it through the glass very good on the phone. Presentation series. So yeah, this is sort of the shop. Some pretty neat things in these cases. Some bourgeois, us Dalton, or Froggy Bottom. That's what it is. Froggy Bottom and a better. So yeah. How was that? Did it work?
It sounded like it.
So there you go. That's the deal. So you guys, no one's really been to the back yet. So
Yes, it's been.
here's Derek's over there in the Gretsch room now. Wall Gretches, some used things, a few basses. So you know, you get sort of the whole deal. We're watching it with you. I'm kind of about to throw up from watching the screen.
All right, I'm going to leave now.
Yeah, that is a sweet Flamby.
Did that work? Did
That worked.
It worked great, man.
It looked great. Yeah.
Did everybody hear all right?
Yeah, did you
I
guys
believe
hear
so.
it when it was remote?
It looked like it. Oh, it's Zach Person. Mr. New album on the way. Look at that.
New album.
Go check out Zach Person everywhere. Zach Person at Instagram. Zach Person on X.
OnlyFans. Right?
OnlyFans.
What's your OnlyFans?
No, seriously though. Go check out Zach's new record. He's getting singles out. It's great stuff. It's really good.
It is good. It is good.
If you enjoy stuff from the Black Keys to like the Black Pumas to just all kinds of cool stuff. He does dope stuff. It's great.
We'll have to do more tour things. I'm sure we can get it less choppy if we, knew we were doing it and messed around.
That's right.
Which would be kind of cool. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. Yeah, we'll have to figure out the echoiness because it's coming off of Derek's phone while we're working, so it's a weird little loop thing. But
it's okay though. Hey,
but it's cool that you could see it. You know what I mean?
One off the cuff thing too, where it's
just
like
for sure.
Not bad.
Wait till Sean's mom's remote. There'll be no echoiness.
Yeah, right.
A lot of people are saying they had no idea how large the place is. Well, where we used to shoot, our little wall of guitars was not really part of the shop. And I mean, it looks probably narrower than the shop, but the shop is actually pretty big, man. I mean, you got a big room when you first walk in. That's
right. Fender
and some PRS, but mostly the custom shop stuff. That side room with the flying V over there with all the Gretsch stuff. The whole back section, that's the acoustic sort of section. And then now, what you guys just saw with all the PRSs and some of the more sort of unique custom shop and masterful stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a really fun room to be able to put people back there. And there's a 2-rock back there. There's an M80 magnetone. There's a couple magnetones.
And that's something else too. As you go,
lounge.
I feel like Baxter's a big advocate of this. Whenever it comes to different shops, right? You go to some guitar stores, and especially the bigger brands, and you feel kind of like, almost intimidated to do anything. Here, we like to give you the option where if you want to be in a room by yourself and play guitar and have fun and not feel like you're being judged, you can do that. And it's not like that weird judgy challenge thing. It's like, just have fun.
Well, I always thought that's cool to me at CME, Chicago Music Exchange, and at Carter's.
Carter Vintage.
They have these little rooms they put you in, and
cool.
It's nice because you can just try stuff out and you're out,
And you kind of be loud,
right.
if you want.
Yeah.
It's great.
So anyways, that's kind of cool. Rob said he just donated 3 acoustic guitars to Guitar Vets. I think that is a great program, and we sort of talked to those guys. We've never hooked up on being able to do much with them, but yeah, there's a lot of veteran organizations we try to do stuff with.
That's right.
So
ever knock into the acoustic wall in the hallway? Surprisingly, no. You'll have like kids who run down the hallway, and while they might bump one, but as far as that, as far as all of us goes, fairly rare. I would say it never happens, and the same thing with most people who walk down there.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to do. You'd have to
Go and get the food, boys.
Cool.
That is getting low.
Yep.
Cool. Go till we die.
Just died. So.
Okay.
Just died.
Yeah. So
You wanna
Johnny's
end it?
mic, or your mic's off.
Mine.
Oh my God! Speaking to my chest, Sean. The only time that we've ever had a problem with the guitars on the wall is we used to be open for what's the festival thing they have on the street? The spring thing?
Oh, yes, Spring Fest.
They would give these kids balloons, and the kids would come in, not to look at the guitars or anything, just to do a crazy lap around our store with balloons, right? And so the balloons would go against the wall and beat guitars on each other. So we started just closing that day. Well, Saturday, random Saturday in the spring.
Yes, we had that, and then we also had what was it? There was the evening thing where it's beer in the shop.
Yeah.
This is what kind of got us to the point that we're like, okay, you can't really do beer in the shop.
Right.
Okay. Here we go. Hey, how's it going?
But I guess we could probably wrap us up.
I think so.
All right, folks.
All right.
Well, I guess we should go do actual guitar shop things. So, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Always good hanging out with you. Jack, thanks, man. Jen Reiminer, thanks. But yeah, we'll see. We may do a live stream Wednesday. Who knows? Like we say, if Sean gets here and he's, drunk from his wisdom teeth surgery, we'll do it. But otherwise, videos coming out this week. Have a good rest of your President's Day, and we will see you next time. Bye.